Hey loves, welcome and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to prepare a perfect CV for your job application. So if this is something you are interested in, you definitely need to keep watching this video. Right guys, so today what we are discussing is very important because for you to get the job offer from any particular country, be it United Kingdom, be it Canada, Australia, New Zealand, whatever, wherever you are applying to, one of the important tools you will need for that job application is your CV, right? So you need to prepare a very good CV for you to land that job. So we are going to be talking about some of the things you need to do and what you need not to do in your CV preparations or your CV writing. So I'm going to start with the things you need not to do or you need not to include in your CV. The first thing I'm going to talk about is your age. No one needs your age. You see, way back home, the way we create our CVs, and we have to put your date of birth, you put your age and whatever. No, you don't need your age. Okay, the only thing that matters is that you will be able to do the job you're applying for. So then number two is do not include your nationality. Do not write where you are coming from, your country of origin. A lot of people go through the CVs and then they do the selections, and then those people that meet the requirements, they now shortlist them for interview. So imagine someone who has had a very bad experience with the country of origin you have stated in your CV, and then the person is the same person going to shortlist you for the interview. What do you think is going to happen? So it's not important to include your country of origin or your nationality. The next thing is, I see some people attach a photograph of themselves, like a passport picture, at the top of the CV. It is not important, right guys? So now that we know the things not to include in our CVs, let's go straight into what are the important things needed. Okay, creating a CV or a curriculum vitae for Canada or UK or any other country is quite similar. Okay, there's no too much difference in it. Okay, you only have to pay attention to your job specifications that has been given out in that particular job advert before you submit your CV. You need to tailor your CV to the job you are applying for at a particular time. So there are 6 things we are going to talk about here. So the first step in CV writing is your contact details. Okay, so you need to provide your contact information out there. Okay, this does not change as to whether you're applying to UK or you're applying to Canada or any other country. It's still the same. So we need your name, your full name, we need your address, yeah, and then we need your telephone number. The telephone number, try to add your country's code to it, okay, and then you please do well to add an email address. Guys, please add a professional email address. So your full name, your contact address, your telephone number with the country's code, and your email address will be at the top of your CV. That is the first thing the employer will love to see. So the second thing you need to write or involve in your CV after your personal details or your contact details is your personal statement. So a summary of you. In this stage, you need a summary of your skills, your experiences, your career goals, and all those things that are pertaining to you, the individual applying for the job. Okay, so try to sell yourself out here. Be confident in yourself, the things you've been able to achieve, write them there, but it shouldn't be too much. At least 4 lines should be okay here, because your CV itself, you don't need like 5, 8, 10 pages. Maximum is 2 pages for this kind of CVs, okay, because they don't really have the time to read or go through a 10-page CV. So try to cut down the pages. Make sure your vital informations are at the top are the first thing the employer is going to see before you can add other things. Okay,
so now
the third thing you need to include here is your skills. Okay, so let the employer see what you are capable of doing. All right, and try to tailor it towards the job you're applying for. So in writing your skills, try to write the things, highlight the things you are capable of doing. Do not go and tell lies. Things you can't do not involve them. And those things are mostly in the job description, or the person specification, which will give you a clue on what to write. So as a nurse, some of the skills you can talk about are critical care nursing, medicine administration, multidisciplinary teamwork, team player, vital signs monitoring, accurate record keeping, adult care, phlebotomy, compassionate care, like all those things that a nurse can do. Don't go and write things you are not able to. If you can't do it, don't put it there. Don't lie. Okay, now the fourth thing you need to talk about is your work experience. Okay, so in writing your work experience, write a detailed work history starting with your most recent job. Okay, so include the job title, the name of the company or organization, the dates of employment, and a brief description of your responsibilities and achievements. Try to use bullet points for clarity. So in writing this part of the CV, try to use bullet points, so it makes it easier for anybody who is reading your CV to go through it quickly and then be able to identify those skills you have. Again, in writing the work history, write it in the reverse chronological order. Okay, with the most recent first. So where you are working now should be the first one and followed by the rest. So for instance, you are now working at 37 Military Hospital, so you need to write the year you've started there. So if it is 2018 or 2019 that you've started working there, you write 2019 or 2018 to current or till present. Okay, that is the first one, and then the next one will now start from maybe from 2018 or 2019 to the time you stop, and then immediately you started with the other one. And if you have any gaps, try to include it. If you don't have any gaps, just make sure the years are relating to each other. And the fifth thing you need now is your education. So the education aspects, you use the same formats as the work history. Okay, so your most recent school or educational level should be at the top, should be the first one before the previous ones will follow. Okay, in that order. List your educational background in the reverse chronological order, just like the work history, and then include the name of the institution, the degree obtained, your graduation date, and any relevant honor and distinctions. Okay, any certificates that you do have or you've achieved, you can include all those ones. So, and finally, the last thing needed in a CV is references. They're going to ask for referees. Okay, so with UK, you can just put in available on request. You don't want to be putting people's information out there just like that. Okay, you can use same thing for the other countries or Canada, but I understand in Canada it's acceptable to add the person's information in your CV, but with UK it doesn't really matter. Okay, so when you write available upon request, when they now shortlist you and they've given you the job offer, that's why they are now going to ask for your references. Okay, right, so that is that for CV writing. So now that you have a fair idea of what to do, it doesn't matter your qualification, your kind of job. You can use the same format to write any CV at all for any particular role you're applying for. Okay, the only thing is that just look out for the person specification, the job description in the job ad. So let me give you an advice, I may call it. Yeah, so when you see a job advert and then you're applying for that job, what you need to do is go and read the job descriptions, what they've written there, what are they looking out for. So what they are looking out for, that is what you now have to include in your work history, in your skills. So try to tailor your CV to meet the requirements of the job they are advertising for. Do not use the same CV for all job applications. But like I was saying, in tailoring your CV, for instance, you went to the job adverts and they were saying they are looking out for someone who can bath patients, and you know that nursing, you do personal hygiene, so you need to add that in your CV. Okay, so those are the petty things you need to include. Look out for what they are asking for in the job adverts, and then I'm not saying copy exactly what is in the job description. Have a look at the job description and tailor it towards your skills, what you have done, and then apply for the job. So that is that. So make sure your CV is readable. Okay, let it be in the correct format. Anyone you send that CV to, the person should be able to open the CV. Okay, there are instances that you have created the CV, but the format you've used, the other person cannot open it on his or her device. So if that happens with your job application, then that is it. No employer is going to chase you. They are not going to see your CV. They are not even going to see it. Use the correct format and let your CVs be in Word or PDF. And then when you are done with your CVs, let somebody, a friend, trusted person, give it to the person, let the person go through it. Probably you might have some typos and other spelling mistakes, and then the person can just correct them before you send your CV. Okay, and finally, don't forget to keep your CVs very short, at least 2 pages, maximum 2 pages. Do not go beyond 2 pages, because they've got loads of CVs to go through. No one has the time to go and read through 10 pages CV. Let it be 2 pages and you will be fine. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I will see you again in another one. All the best in your job search. Take care.